anyone who knows me knows I've been very like vocal about how I am sexually, you know, in terms of being like daddy and top. So my secret is that.
Wait, did you bottom?
It's over.
I think there's different kinds of hotness.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Yeah.
You have to make it gay.
What are the different kinds of hotness, Melissa?
Like, you know, there's visually like what people consider traditionally attractive, but there's so many things that make a person attractive. There's like your mind, how people think. There's an energy. There's a swag. And so I don't think hotness is like, you look at two people and you're like, that person's more attractive. That's not how I see it.
I would like to clarify that you assumed I meant physically attractive.
I think you meant physically.
You meant swag. You meant with
I
the
just
swag,
meant
right?
hot people.
This is Yenta Podcast 3 Orthodykes Part 2.
Drum roll.
What? Can you believe we're doing a Part 2? I can't.
After,
By popular demand, everybody was like, I need another episode. I've never had that happen to me before in my whole life.
Okay, but I find that a lot of influencers and people say that. They say
it's
like
true.
popular demand or people have asked.
But actually, you're right. You're 100% right. But in this case, I am not lying. I feel like people have asked you guys too. Right?
So I've gotten a lot of requests for another episode. And what's shocking is, like I said, the more out there I am, the more like I'm away from the, you know, necessarily the heimish niche.
Yeah.
But this episode brought out all the heimish queers.
All the
from
heimish
from
queers.
The dark. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was everyone who was at my show, basically.
Oh, yeah.
The New York
In the
Comedy
front row,
Festival show.
by the
Yeah.
way.
They all loved you.
It was fun.
Yeah.
We had a really good time.
How was the show, Leah? What did you think of the show?
I
You
loved
left
the
so
show.
early.
Yeah, okay,
it
well-
was sold out, Baruch Hashem, which is huge to get like a bunch of Jewish queers to come out and like pay money to a comedy show. Like,
You can say to see you. You're allowed to say
it wasn't
that.
to see me.
You were
It was to see
debating if
you,
should
Leah.
Say it, and then you're like, no, Ray. You
I'm
are
not-
very well liked, and
No.
people came out to see you.
To see you, Leah.
it.
To
Own
see you.
it.
Leah, stop flirting with me.
You know what's sad about the gays, the poor little young gays? Oh, you could be practically my child. Is that it's like, stop flirting with me, right? I'm like old. I'm just being nice. The young people are like, someone's giving me a compliment. I guess you want to sleep with me. Fine.
And I'm okay with that.
Fine.
She's like, I'll do it.
I thought you were amazing, and I thought it was genuinely funny. My favorite joke is your Chalamet, them.
People love that one.
Classic.
I identify as gender fluid, which just means that I wish I was Timothy Chalamet. My pronouns are Chalamet, them.
I like that a lot. I remember that.
That one usually gets a nice laugh.
Ha 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 ha.
Laugh louder.
Just put that a little bit closer to your mouth.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
like
Aren't you
that.
guys
Just like that.
professionals?
Not with
Put
this.
the...
Yeah.
Oh, because the
I'm a
mic
nice
is dirty?
Jewish lesbian.
No, because the mics are very. I'm not used to holding a mic like this. I have usually
You have a regular mic.
a lot.
You have a lavalier.
Yeah.
Melissa's in a play right now.
I am.
A Yiddish play. Tell us about the play.
The play is called The Gospel According to Chaim. Unfortunately, I think when this show goes,
It'll be off air. No,
Unless we get
I think I'm gonna air this next Thursday.
Yeah,
Will
we're
it be
done
out?
Sunday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sucks for you guys. You can't see it.
It might get extended. Who knows?
Well,
Okay.
then let me just pop in and say that I've seen it.
And
I've seen it twice.
I'm gonna see it tonight. Wow. You should come tonight.
Leah
See it 3 times.
Saw it twice.
It was
Wow.
brilliant.
Did Leah get a comp
obviously,
ticket?
Since it's over, I'm gonna tell you about it. Well, actually, the first one I came as a friend. I came to support, and I bought a ticket. I personally, like as a performer, find it hard doing shows and having my friends come because I don't want them to feel obligated to buy tickets to come out and see me.
Yeah.
So I put it on my social media page. Whoever wants to come is welcome to. And sometimes I'll put it in groups and I'll be like, hey, I have some tickets. Would you like to come? But I never pressure anyone. So I was like, I've been on that end. So if Melissa's doing a show, I'm just buying a ticket and showing up. Then I was like, hey, I want to bring my girlfriend and see it again. So she was like, oh, I'll put aside 2 for you. And then in the end, we didn't end up coming that night because we're lesbians. So we were in bed by 8. But then she did a matinee show, perfect for lesbians matinee shows. So we were able to come and be in bed at a respectable time.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
Baruch
it's really
Hashem.
nice that they came.
Yeah.
So it's about.
And by be in bed, I mean frolic. Carry on.
Oh, I forgot you have a girlfriend. Was that inappropriate that I said that you're flirting with me?
Absolutely not. I already checked everything with her before I got on here. About
Okay, good.
I'm allowed to do anything, by the way. That's the best girlfriend. She's like, whatever.
We should do.
I shouldn't say, and she's like,
we're gonna do after Melissa tells us about her play. We're gonna do updates from the last episode.
Oh.
Okay, like what has happened with our lives since? Because I'm sure everyone is so invested, mostly in you guys. Okay, tell us about
Enough with the humility. Enough.
why enough? It makes me so mad.
why you want me to.
Besides myself.
But you know what?
Wait,
you know
you
what,
have a
Leah?
big following on TikTok. You have a great personality. I'm not flirting with you. You're actually just a really cool
Stop
person.
flirting with me.
Cute little baby game.
You know what I learned? That bullying into self-acceptance doesn't work.
Oh, right. So I'm doing it now. I'm
You're
like, you
doing it.
are
It doesn't
amazing.
work. It doesn't
Okay,
work.
sorry, my bad. You suck.
I do.
No. She's fantastic.
No, that's the Jewish
They're
baseline,
fantastic.
though. That's the Jewish
Shallow there,
baseline.
fantastic. Okay, what's the play about, Melissa?
Okay, the play is about a person that grew up Hasidic who translated the New Testament into Yiddish. In 1940, as a way to save the Jews, he thought Jesus would save the Jews.
So he was a Jew for Jesus.
Yeah,
Oy.
before it was like a thing. And then I play an anti-fascist activist who's trying to get people to care about what's happening to Jews in Europe. Mm-hmm. And we go toe-to-toe. I get to be very angry, and that's really fun.
I'm
Yeah.
excited to see it tonight. Will you be angry at me?
Brilliant. It's brilliant.
Never
The second
at
time I
you.
went, there was a sold-out show. It was like sold out, and people were just like astonished.
Really?
Also because it's so current as to what's going on in the world, and to watch
Anti-Semitism.
people be gaslit this way, literally, and just be like, no, it's not a problem. No, it's not. We
What's
just
not a
need more
problem?
love and
Anti-Semitism.
Oh,
Yeah,
I think
when-
everyone admits that it's a problem. No?
I think that people admit it's a problem
in context.
and like to
Yeah.
politicize and talk about it's a problem on this side or it's a problem on that side. And I think it's just a problem
Yeah.
on
it's
all
a
the
problem.
sides.
Maybe we'll talk about that later. I feel like that could be interesting. Like how
We're
or not.
not this
We're not
podcast.
talking about it.
Period.
It's very okay, I take it back. We're not talking about it. We're only
yeah,
talking
guys,
about
tune into this episode so that you don't have stress and anxiety for 1 hour.
Yeah,
for 1 hour,
exactly.
just
Yeah,
escape
you're
with
right. Because I
us.
know every other second of the day you're freaking out about this.
Pretty much.
Okay, what have you been up to since our last episode?
I don't know where I was the last episode.
That was in May, I believe, of last year. You go first. Because, last episode, you were like on and off with your girlfriend.
Oof. Yes, we were.
And now
We took this like 6-week break.
Mm-hmm.
I don't recommend it for regular couples. I mean,
Regular.
You know what I mean? Like, a break is not a good thing in a relationship. But we went totally like no contact for 6 weeks. And in our case, it was really good because like not having her made me realize how much I want to be with her, and same. So yes, we're still together. But I say still.
Yeah.
Still together, still going strong.
How?
You know that one?
I absolutely do not. That's an
Me
old
neither.
song.
Still the one I
I
that's
do.
an old song.
Yeah.
You know what? You are not as awesome as I thought you were. Yeah, so that's my update. It's not a real. I'm the same person. I'm just
That's big.
in a relationship. Yes.
Yeah.
Happy?
Happy.
Yeah.
Is it a monogamous relationship? Wow.
Yeah. There's like silence over here. I'll tell you. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say about that.
No, tell us.
Monogamous by choice. That's it. I've done
Yeah.
both, as everybody like I've talked about this.
Yeah.
I've dated. I've been in open relationships and I've been in monogamous relationships, and this is a good relationship. I don't think it would matter if it's open or not. It's a great relationship. I'm
Good.
happy.
What makes
you know,
it so
by the time
great?
this films. What makes it so great?
Slide into her DMs.
I'll tell you what, man. If you're with someone who really pushes you out of your comfort zone, and it's like 9 times out of 10, I say I want good communication, but it always comes back to, am I communicating well?
Yes.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I realize a lot of the times I say I want good communication. I'm the
But you're
one
the one-
not communicating what I want, what I need, how I feel, and I'm like hoping that the other person communicates. Like, so this relationship is really doing that for me. Like,
Yeah. That's kind of like what you said to me on the last episode where I was like, I'm looking for a wife. And then you were like, what do you have to offer?
What kind of wife would
Yeah.
you be?
Yeah.
I think that's where the world is headed now, because like healing was doing its thing for a minute, for a hot minute, and people were all and it's important. But I think
Why
people
me?
are,
Why me?
Because
What was that
I know
about?
because we are into
Because-
healing and we talk about this a lot as friends.
Oh, yeah.
But I think now people are transitioning to taking accountability, not just the
Healing is taking
Yes,
accountability.
but this part of the healing process, like when we stop pointing fingers at others and we're like, what about me? And so I think that's where I see a lot of the friends I'm with. That's where we are right now in the
journey.
I'm being the best version of myself. So
Yeah.
Okay, what about
Be
you,
out
Melissa? Have you had any lovers since our last episode?
Lovers?
Yeah. Or friends.
or lusters.
Or you know what? Talk about whatever you could talk about. Career. Are we allowed to talk about it?
Can we ask about her? Have there been any threesomes since we last?
Oh.
No. Just so much conversation about threesomes. No threesomes. I don't think that that's a thing for me.
Wait, why not?
Threesomes?
You're not into threesomes?
I'm very grown up. And I
feel like I'm being attacked.
Wait, whoa!
Leah, do you like threesomes?
I mean, do I like threesomes? No, but I mean, like, I'm very sex positive.
Oh,
My
okay.
girlfriend's
So
gonna
maybe
watch this, and she's like, "No, you're not."
I'm not judging people that have threesomes. For me, okay, let me rephrase.
Have you ever
Okay.
had a threesome?
Yes.
she got invited.
That's why. Okay.
But for me, I just like having connections with people, and it's
Yeah.
special one-on-one. I don't. It's not my thing.
Yeah.
This year has been the like probably my hardest year. I think as a maybe ever
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
because I had a very bad breakup.
Yes.
Um,
Do you want to talk about it? We do not have to.
well, it's fine. I'm not going
okay.
to talk about it too much. I think it just was bad because it took a long time to get some semblance of closure, and I'm not used to. Things are okay now. But there was a lot of healing that needed to happen, and a lot of my whole life shifted
Yeah.
in like all the ways.
Because you had to move out of your place.
Yeah, it was, but it was also I think
that's
like a
huge.
sense. My whole sense of self, I got very shaken up, and for a while it was like in shock because it happened in a way that was there was mental illness and involved, and I think when you're not speaking to someone that's in the same reality, it can be really complicated.
Yeah.
So I don't know. So it took a very long time to have the conversations that needed to happen. So it took a long time for me to heal, and then for myself.
I mean, it's so recent.
It was the hardest thing, really the hardest thing I've ever. So I had a lot of anxiety and a lot of intrusive thoughts and a lot of growth and pain and family. My family's amazing this year. So
Yeah.
I got closer with my family, which
Let's
is
talk
incredible.
about that, because I think that's so beautiful that you like are out and yourself.
Yeah.
And and you're so close with your family, and you see them all the time, and you're Hasidic, and like they're Hasidic still. And
Well,
you're,
I consider myself Chassidic
and
still
also
too.
you're Hasidic. So tell us about that.
My family got me, when I moved, they got me a card, like a gift card. It was a Pride gift card, and it said "Love is love," and I was just like, "This is wow."
That's insane.
I know. My brain went to did my sister? Do they understand what it is?
They
But
must.
then I was just like, I think they're being
Or
supportive.
they just were like, this is a pretty rainbow.
Could be.
Melissa
That's what I
would
was
like
just
this.
like, maybe. But yeah, my family has been really helpful with this breakup, which
Yeah.
is really, really nice.
And at your birthday party, they like cooked you all the food, which was so nice.
They were all involved. My mom wrote the brachas for people. She
Yes.
sat up at like 2 a.m. writing it for me because I wanted her to write it for me. And my siblings all made food, and my brother dropped everything off, and they gave me a bunch of cards
And
for my
Melissa wore a
40th.
gown.
Yeah, no, it was more like a sexy,
It was like a
black
Mixture
coat.
of a
It was
Yeah.
a
thing.
salon. That's
It was
what
a
it was.
salon.
salon.
Which you were
And
all
we can't
at.
tell you
Yeah.
more about that. I'm sorry, audience. You're not invited to that. But we're
It
due
was-
for a salon. Okay,
are.
here's something you guys don't know, but someone has to do it, so I will.
What?
We have camera people filming this.
Oh, really?
Okay, and
Yeah.
they're really hot.
Yeah.
We're definitely gonna have to turn the cameras around so you can see, like, because usually, you know what I mean. It's not like that.
Yeah.
But in this case, there are
Usually
five
the
very
people
hot-
on camera
very
are the hot
queer
ones.
People in the room.
Yeah.
No, but
We're
and
we're
I
also
spoke to Melissa about this because I said we need to do and Sarah as well.
Yeah.
I said we need to do a podcast with hot people. You know, because I'm not saying there aren't
Yeah.
amazing podcasts because every schmuck has a podcast, but hot people watch faster. They just do. It's the way of the world.
Yeah.
And I think it's nice when like everyone's hot and also funny and interesting and so it's like we got to do that one of these days. So Sarah and Ashe, you're both invited. You've passed the hot test. Yes.
They know.
They know.
They know they're
Sometimes
hot.
they know, yeah.
No, you know, when people used to compliment me like, "Oh, you're funny," or "Oh, you have a good voice," I was like, "Thank you," which is they're acknowledging my talent. But now I'm like, telling someone they're hot or telling someone they're smart or good looking or whatever. It's not. I'm not really complimenting you. Not.
Say more.
It's like I'm complimenting your creation.
God.
Yeah, like.
Oh.
This is like, wow, God gave you a beautiful voice, or like a beauty. You know, I don't be like you. People don't do anything to be pretty. You're
That's
just
true.
born pretty.
But I do have a question.
That's so wrong, Leah.
Well,
Have you been to LA?
No, but I meant like
People
But I meant,
pay
like,
lots of money
to be
to be pretty.
But I'm saying,
And it works.
If you genuinely compliment someone's eyes and you're like, you have beautiful eyes.
Yeah.
They literally were just born with pretty eyes. Or if someone has a pretty voice, they were just born with a pretty voice.
Yeah.
Or someone's brilliant. They're just brilliant. But and a lot of times when you tell it to people, they're like, thanks. Like I did something for it. But
No,
you didn't.
it's a
So if
Kadosh
I say you're
Baruch Hu.
hot, I just mean like you were born that way. Maybe it's Maybelline,
I
maybe
do
you
want to
were-
challenge you though on this
Avada.
because it can be like that person's hot, but the way that we perceive it, in order for it to not just be selfish about what we are looking at and thanking Hashem, giving them some agency is important, I think. So saying they're hot and having them own it and in themselves it's not just, it's a Kadosh Baruch Hu, but they're a being. So
MS.
respecting that they're
How
a
do you
person.
say HaKadosh Baruch Hu?
HaKadosh Baruch Hu,
HaKadosh Baruch Hu?
Hashem, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Yeah.
How's that?
Good.
I
Great job.
I grew up saying HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
You know what else is
Hakudesh.
interesting about the
Hakudesh
heimish
Baruch
people?
Hu.
Baruch Hu. What are your favorite zemiros?
Wait,
I love zemiros.
did you grow up saying Avram, Yitzchak, Yaakov?
Avram, Yitzchak,
Okay,
Yaakov,
so
Moshe,
I
Aaron,
grew
David.
up saying Avram Avini,
Ah,
Yitzchak Avini,
really?
Rachel Amaini,
Oh, yeah.
or even
Avram, Yitzchak,
I
Yaakov.
know.
saying
I
like-
shout out Avram Avinu.
Yeah, both.
Yeah.
So
It's
instead
fine.
of saying like the Chassan Sofer says, my father would say the Heilige Chassan Sofer says.
Okay, yeah.
He
Oh, I
would
don't
always
know what
add
that
like
means.
extra holy or special. Or,
Heilige.
yeah, superfluous.
A challenge.
Here we go, more challenges. No,
I think it's just like
need it.
respect. I don't think it's superfluous. But
Zemiros.
Zemiros.
Zmidas.
Zmidas. I love Zmidas so much.
I love echsof.
That's,
Do you know that one?
No, because I think you just a little bit butchered that.
Butchered. Well, the way I would say it is echsof. Yeah.
I knew
that
what
one.
she meant when she said that.
Cool.
You
How
said
would-
it like a guy, but it's okay.
Ashe.
And for those of you that don't know, a guy is anyone who's less religious than my mother. So
Yeah.
that would be basically anyone.
A Gentile.
Yeah. Turn this off.
Yeah, that's a really pretty one.
I love that one. Sometimes this is a real secret.
What's the
Sometimes when I'm drunk, I'll put on echsof and sing it while I'm waiting to sober up.
Yum.
You know what I mean?
Big
and
fan.
I'll
Does
just
it help you sober up?
Yeah, because
Really?
it's so serious,
Oh
and it's also
gosh,
the
that's so
version
nice.
on YouTube where it's like the crazy the Hasidic people like cool echsof, no, you don't share. Yeah, and then you oh my God, I
It's
love
hard
it.
sing. That's what it is. Not crazy. It's hard sing.
I'm so sorry for saying crazy.
Sorry, I just-
This is
Challenge. It's not crazy. It's heart sick.
heart
Gosh,
sick.
I hear myself. It's way too much. Okay, I'm dialing it up.
Wait, can I show you which version it is?
Yes.
Oh, here we go. We're getting the virgin.
Yeah.
This, and then you say your favorite zemiros.
Or as Bailey would say, we're getting the virgin.
The virgin.
We're getting the heimish virgin.
What?
Do you have a favorite zemiros?
Yeah, what are your favorite? I also have, oh my God, look, it's the top one.
Of course it is. It's right there waiting for you. Cool.
Look at these guys.
Are you playing it?
Yeah.
It's a whole
Oh, I know
Shabbos
that
song.
one too.
Yeah.
This is them starting it.
Wollt ich gelaufen in die Gassen, in ihr Wort geschrien heuer.
Do you know these guys?
I'm not sure.
I think it's the Mezamrim.
No, I don't.
They're really good.
Oh yeah.
Wait, let me
Ash
just
is feeling
feel it.
why
Ash
Ash
is
listen
feeling
to
it.
this tipsy.
Let me skip to the little
Yes,
boy.
actually, yes, that does work.
Tipsy vibes. Somehow, like whenever I always want Ricky Rose around.
Oh,
There's nothing like little Hasidic
so
voice.
sick.
Okay, so can I say something? This is so funny.
It's funny because he's not a Hasidic kid and he's singing Hasidic, I think.
You don't think that's a Chassidic kid?
No. Oh, this one is. Yes, the other one was it.
Okay, can you pause that for a
Okay,
second?
that was it. That was my secret. I know.
Growing up, it was very special that we had these little boys that would take the mic. So
Yeah.
we had, like the men that were the choir, and they were like, Ms. Marlido, and then the kid would come.
Because they're the feminine voice.
And then everyone else would stand around and be like, look at this wonder kid. Wow. Yeah. Like he was the... And meanwhile, he was just like a prepubescent.
That's the thing. It's the feminine, it's a feminine voice.
Way
and it's
they can have the high
There's
key.
like high, yes.
Yeah. So it's like, come with me, little neshamala. And then you have the... But dear Malchul, no, I don't want to go.
I don't know that one.
Oh, yeah, that's like
a good one.
You guys will have to play that for me.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I like that one. She'll cry a lot.
Yeah.
They
How dare you?
on camera,
It's Shala they.
Sorry, so hard. And my kid is non-binary too, so
When did they come out as non-binary?
probably 13.
Oh, a long time ago.
They're gonna be 20 now, so this was
Wow.
like before it was cool.
Yeah.
They always told me they're like, I am just nothing. I'm nothing and everything.
Yeah.
So I should be used to it, but I get a mom pass. I don't know what my excuse is with you.
You can be my mom. Pass.
What about your dad?
That's two. You can be that too.
You can call me Managa Dad.
What does that mean?
It's monogamous.
Dad. I was being funny with Daddy. I was trying
Managa
it out.
Dad.
It failed. Want.
Well, you know what? We have to try. I feel like you had
We have to
something else
try.
to say.
No, when I was a kid, we sang zemiros. So I have 6 sisters and 2 brothers, but the brothers are the little ones. And so we all sang, and our neighbors, when they found that it was a bunch of girls, they were like, "Oh, we can't hear." They would tell us how beautiful it was.
Yeah.
And then when they found that it was all the girls, they're like, "We can't listen to it." 'Cause it's,
That's so annoying, dude.
But we still sang.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. That reminds me of when I was at the Koisel. Did I say that right?
Perfect.
In seminary, we would also like sing Shabbos. Like we would do Shabbos songs on the women's side, and the men told us that we have to be quiet.
My father has a thing about that. Though.
What's the thing?
Because it's a group of women, it's fine.
I mean, that's halacha.
That's halacha.
I wouldn't say whatever. People would like debate on this, but
Right.
that is
So
an
then-
actual halachic like.
Because they don't know who the voice is coming from.
Yeah. So, but people are nuts.
Right.
So
in our house that
and they're
didn't apply.
patriarchal.
Yeah.
And they hate women. So, I'm sorry. It's
That's so sad.
I mean, it's true.
You know what's funny is
It's
I
a
just did a show.
blanket statement, so I don't know how.
Well,
you
not
know,
everybody
there are
hates
people that
women.
hate-
There
I'm not
are-
gonna challenge because I
No,
sounded so preachy.
challenge.
No,
There
no,
are
no,
people.
It's okay.
I just
That's
did
your
That's what
experience.
makes a good podcast.
It's your
last
experience,
week,
you know. It's,
and
I mean,
there
the-
are people that hate women. I don't think
Yes.
the Hasidic community is. I don't think it's inherently sexist. I think their gender roles, it's very divided because of tradition and because of religious stuff, but it's not inherently sexist in a way that people assume sexism looks like. Like I encountered a lot more sexism when I left the community, and there was a lot because people thought it was covert sexism and like, oh, we have equal rights. We don't.
Yeah.
Like, who are we kidding? We live in 2023. We do not have 2024. Fuck. I mean, we have equal rights, but there's still discussions about like our bodies and about like policing women. Like there's clearly not.
There's sexism and patriarchy everywhere.
But there's a different kind, which is what was surprising to me because there's an assumption of like, oh, we're woke, we understand this, and you're like, there's so much sexism here that I have not encountered in my community. So there's a different form. I'm not saying it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
It's just a different form. So that's where I was like, I don't know if they hate women. I think women are just seen in a specific role. Men have a specific role. Women have a specific role. So that's all. That was my like.
I know.
I'm not
Why
gonna
do you
lie.
think you're
I
pain? Why are
struggle
you
with
in pain?
Kalisha. I do struggle with Kalisha. I'm not gonna lie. And it's like,
Oh, yeah.
listen,
That's
I'm
me
obviously
too.
not on that standard for a reason. I made changes in my life because there's certain things I don't agree with.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
To me, it's very weird that you can go to a concert and men can be there and women are like all into the
It's
men
the
and then the
worst.
women can't.
Yes.
And could challenge, not challenge. I don't want to.
I
I
wouldn't
don't
challenge
feel.
that. There's a reason I'm not part of the community. I have judgment. I'm just saying that it doesn't. I was just responding to like hating women.
I was being dramatic that they all hate women.
That's all.
And I didn't say they all hate women. I said the people specifically who like want to shut down your family from singing.
That's
like
not okay.
the girls, when it's like halakhically, it's fine.
Yeah.
Like that is hating women, in my opinion.
Yeah.
There's like something like
there's almost like it's almost not even so much hate. It's almost like a devaluing of like it doesn't matter.
Or so
it's more than
it's
hate.
like hating you have to care.
Yeah.
Like I don't even care about you enough to hate you. Like you're so beneath
That's
me.
what unfortunately.
So I did
that's
this
really
show
upsetting.
last
There are
week.
certain
So
things that I
sad.
do think are inherently like I have a really big problem with a lot of the things.
Yeah.
So I did this show called Kvetch with Me, and it was like a whole a show where I just kvetched. And so one of the things, I started off with a song, and I said like something like, I never did well in school, because something like I could never follow rules. And then I said, I got a tiny little problem, because you can't keep me on a leash. And that's why I got an issue with this little rule called Kol Isha. Something like that. I did some song, but I do inherently have a problem with it. And honestly, if somebody were to ask me, Leah, what was the reason why you made those changes, why you left the ultra Orthodox, I would say it's reasons like this. I am too talented, and I want to go to a karaoke bar, and I want to be able to just grab the mic and sing.
Yeah.
And I don't want to have to look over my shoulder and be like, am I allowed to do this?
Yes.
You know? So for that reason, I couldn't.
I know. Same.
Same for me. It's also just how those gender roles don't work for me at all.
Yeah.
It might be because we're a little bit queer.
No.
Maybe, that we don't fit into those.
Honestly,
You think
I'm
that's
not
why?
sure.
I don't know.
I'm
How
not
dare
sure,
you?
Right?
I'm straight.
You are?
I daven in a fully religious shul.
No, I went to
being queer
shul.
is
I went to
like
shul with you.
And being queer is not like at all. They follow religious, protocol.
Yeah.
Even the rabbi, his daughter was bat mitzvah, and he got up and he's like, my daughter's going to lane, and whoever doesn't feel comfortable can leave.
Well,
Yeah.
even the fact that she laned, I feel like is not super orthodox.
Well, it was after shul, but also, yes, it was. It's modern Orthodox, but it's Orthodox.
Well, that's new. When I grew up, they were not letting women lane, even
There's
after
also
shul.
though just some of it's religion, some of it's just the community stuff, and it becomes the norms and stuff.
I mean, I'm
Like,
happy, but it's
I
not.
thought it was cool.
And I think a lot of Orthodox people would say that's not Orthodox.
But it is Orthodox, and that's when I realized that it doesn't matter to me what other people say. Other people would say it's not Orthodox.
No.
So that's why I'm like, not in your way, but I'm
Yeah,
saying
yeah,
when people are like, are you religious? Are you Orthodox? I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't need a title. It's the same way I feel about being queer. I'm just queer. I don't need to tell you what kind of a queer I am, Number one, I'm just a human.
But I want to know.
What kind of queer?
Right. But
What
you know what I
kind-
mean?
yeah.
Like, why does it matter?
So weird. There was
It
an
doesn't
article
matter.
about this show that I'm doing, and they talked about how I grew up Hasidic, and another actor, Shirley Rosenberg, grew up Hasidic as well. That's in our cast. And they went through the levels of religiosity, and they wrote, although she doesn't go to shul anymore, it doesn't have...
About
first of all,
you?
you have no idea what I do. I went to shul.
Just went to
That's
shul.
But
so
also,
weird.
like, why are things so black? Things aren't so black and white. Like,
Yeah.
I have a secret. Want to know?
Yes. Melissa came prepared.
No, I was thinking about it. I
Yeah.
have other secrets because...
Are you straight?
No.
We support you. We love you.
We love you no matter what.
Thank you. But I've started to say my Da'ani and Ashe Yartzar
We're so
religiously.
My secret is that I listen to echsof. Your
right?
secret is
Is
that you do moda'ani.
I do Da'ani and Ashe Yartzar, and it's important to me. And also, I think like religion or spiritual, it's like a very personal thing. So it's a very interesting thing for other people to then decide you're less from or you're more from, and to write about like what it means. And I don't think it stays. I think these things are, at least for me, it's fluid. It changes, it shifts.
Yeah.
It's a coming into oneself. And hopefully we continue to do that throughout our lives. So that's my secret.
I love that.
Is that a good secret?
It's
So
a good.
like-
It's a good secret.
When people talk about secrets and then someone's like, I say moda'ani in
know.
the morning.
secret, right?
It wasn't
It's
where
dirty.
I thought it was gonna go.
Because I had other ones, and then I was like, well, this is like a Orthodykes secret.
Well,
and
you could
people
have-
just,
you
like,
could have
make
multiple
assumptions.
secret.
And because this article came out, I was like, you don't know my level of religion. Like, that's a strange thing to
I
say.
actually have a little dirty secret. Now that I'm thinking
What
about
is
it, I'm
your
like, what
secret?
do I have? So anyone who knows me knows I've been very like vocal about how I am sexually, in terms of being like daddy and top. So my secret is that I'm taking on a little bit of a different role in this relationship.
Oh God!
Yeah, I just switched stuff up. It's a little bit different than Modani, but I gotta say, it's a vibe. I'm just gonna leave it at that.
No.
Things are
You
getting
have to
really interesting. I don't.
with your
I know, Ray and I are
She's
shocked.
gonna kill me when
Everybody's
she
shocked.
watches this. Okay, I also called her baby. Wow, who the F am I anymore? We struggled with that a lot. You know how you are in the beginning of a relationship. You don't know what to call each other. Like
No, we're not doing that.
We're not doing that?
You go back to what you were saying.
Okay,
Yeah.
Okay,
Sex.
so
Yeah,
I just wanna know
you-
about the sex.
Yes.
No,
No, just about you. Just about you.
Yes, yeah. I mean, so I'm taking a less. I mean, I'm obviously still like what I like, but you know, I'm
How did it
allowing
start?
myself. It just started. It just
No, tell us how it started. Because that doesn't just
Picture
that,
this.
that doesn't just start.
It was 11 p.m. The lights were dark.
Yeah. Did she like start taking more?
She's gonna kill me.
Okay, so talk about how you feel. How do you feel?
I must say, it feels really nice to be
Yeah,
in this kind of
to be
but
baby.
it's also where I am in my life. Oh no, not baby.
Oh, what are
No.
you?
No, I'm
Is
just.
she daddy or
I'm
is
just
she?
letting myself be touched? That's all. That's like I know, right? It's not that
Are you
exciting.
kidding
I think
me?
it's letting. It sounds like you're letting go a bit more. Maybe you
Yes.
trust. You have
Yeah.
more
Yeah,
trust.
yeah, that's a good point.
Feel
The trust.
safe.
Yeah, it doesn't
It's,
have.
and that makes sense from what you were saying in the beginning of like
Yeah, and
you.
it's a shift. It's super interesting. It's like I went from never initiating and never like thinking about it. Like our whole relationship at the beginning, she talks about it openly that like I wouldn't kiss her. Like we went on many, many dates before. I
Like
even
in
kissed
public
her.
or
no,
just-
private even.
Uh-huh.
I think it was like 10 dates before.
Because you were so from?
I think I have. I'm like
You were
Melissa
being
with
shomer?
physical.
Uh-huh. You need more of a
It takes
connection.
me time, and I feel like it doesn't change in a relationship for me. Meaning,
Yeah.
if our temperature's good, I'm good to be physical with you. But if we're not there, then I can't connect with you physically. Even,
Yeah.
I never understood couples that are together for a long time and they're like, we just had the best makeup sex, and I'm like, if I'm mad, I don't want makeup sex. I don't even want
No,
makeup
but you
talk.
solve
I
the
want makeup
problem
nothing.
and then you do makeup sex.
Yes.
That's what
But
that is.
even then,
But you're talking about
I'm
like
still
hate fight
injured
sex.
after. Yeah, like I need time. Like that's time.
Yeah.
So it's interesting because I've never pursued, and in past relationships also. So here it's interesting how suddenly a few days go by and I'm like thinking about it. I'm like, we haven't had it in a minute. Like I guess I have to make a move, you know? I'm digging it.
I think
I'm
we're
digging
gonna
it.
talk more about it in the in the Patreon episode.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, but
And-
that's yeah.
in
you have to-
Patreon?
Patreons, you have to pay like $1 million.
Yeah, we're gonna do it on
It's gonna
the,
be
Like $1 million. You have to pay like
cost my relationship.
we're gonna do it on the
No,
top
Chas v'shalom,
tier. the top-
don't
No,
do it if
don't
it
do
costs your
anything that's gonna
relationship.
cost your
No, she
relationship.
told
Or
me
your
everything
happiness.
goes, but I think she'll be
Ever.
really surprised that I went
Yeah,
on camera and I actually said that like I bottomed. She'll be like,
This is amazing, Leah. This is incredible.
Wait, did you bottom?
it's over.
Okay, go to the Patreon to find out more about Leah bottoming. That's the name of the episode.
You got my secret.
That's a good one.
Better than Modani. No offense.
Because I was gonna have a dirty secret, and then I thought, no, we're doing
We're doing from. Well, you know what? You could do. You can do a from secret.
You could
and
do a Schmitzik
in-
secret too.
in the
Love your secret,
in the
Leah.
Orthodyke.
I don't think I
in
could
the
top that.
Orthodyke fashion.
You know
We'll do
what?
a
I took a
from
lesson.
secret
I'm
and
going to
a-
shout her out. My friend Shanika Smith, who used to play for the WNBA and is a coach
Hot.
for St. John's. Yeah. Super hot dyke. And she's like, are you kidding? She's like, I sit back and I'm like, come and get it. And I'm like so jealous of her because she's so dykey and so whatever. I was
Yeah.
like, I'm going to try that.
Well, I think the cool thing about being a dyke and being queer in general is that we don't have to subscribe to regular gender
But
roles.
it's not about gender for me. See,
What-
sex isn't about gender. It's about letting go. So
Right.
it wouldn't be different if I was a man. I would be the same way sexually. I struggle with like being present and letting go.
Right.
So feeling comfortable with somebody and having fun.
I'm so happy for you. I think that's such a. You were talking about healing
It's
and
growth.
about all of that. It's growth.
For sure.
Being able to let being able to let go.
High time. I'm
Ash.
in my 40s. I have like how many good years left?
You have a lot of good years, and there's no date on that. Always just you get to be more of you. Isn't that fucking cool?
Yeah.
Though you get to be like Leah, free.
It's a little
that's
weird when we're out in
awesome.
public and I'm like, I look at her and I'm like, I think about it and I'm like, she bottomed me. like
she bottomed
it's
you.
embarrassing.
You mean she topped
I mean,
you?
she topped me, yes. So I'm
You
like,
were a
yeah,
baby.
yeah, yeah.
embarrassing.
You were a little baby bottom.
It's letting
Oh my
control.
God. I was no such thing. I want to go on record and say I was no such thing.
All
that happened was that I was on my back. Let's calm down.
Oh
okay?
my God.
Exactly. Okay, you know what? We're moving on.
Okay, yeah, we're coming back to that on the Patreon.
Wait, your secret.
Yes. Well, I said my moda. No, I said my. I said my echsof
Oh,
secret.
Ray, have you been having any good sex lately?
Well, when you say it like that.
Yes.
Well, okay. I have my one secret. I have a few secrets.
Candy goes down.
No, bring out the candy.
Okay.
Shout out the candy.
I didn't want to ruffle while we were sharing.
Oh, well, we have these good microphones or whatever. It's fine. So I have my echsof secret, and my other secret is that I loosely dated a girl in Stern College for a few months last month.
Last month.
Well, we broke up like last time I was in New York.
Knowing automatically that it's a Stern girl has my antennas up because
Yeah.
well, I feel like I might know who it is. Does she have long brown hair because Jewish geography?
No, she doesn't.
Oh, because I actually.
You have a whole story around this girl now.
I do.
Okay,
yeah.
I want to hear the story.
But I told part of the story
there's
already.
something so fun about.
Oh, thank you, director Sarah.
From oh my God! Thank you.
I think we should get director Sarah and camera.
Okay, and the lesbo came with the scissor, of course. How very typical.
Wait, let's get director Sarah and director Ashe on the pod.
All right, so guys, just to give you a 411. Okay, Sarah, big video producer. Ashe,
yes.
huge artist. I actually just bought a piece of
Go
their
follow
art.
them also on Instagram.
But like, look at what just look at what we're working with today. Yeah. Oh yeah. Come on this couch, right here with the scissor. The shikhalach. Look what's up over here.
Look at
how
our
hot they are.
filmmakers.
Okay, I mean seriously. Okay, now can we just not talk about the fact that they're hot also? I do have a question because you guys are in a long-term relationship.
But hot mentally and talent wise.
language,
They're
yes.
artists, they're creators. Okay, that's
And it doesn't hurt.
I
that
do
they're
want to
really
say one
good-looking.
super cool
That's-
thing. So
we will
Melissa
say.
came to me for the weekend. So did they. And I have signs in my bathroom, Ashe Yatzar signs in every bathroom that was made by an artist. For those of you that don't know, the blessing is when you come out of the bathroom, you thank the universe sort of that all your body parts work, that the openings are open and the closings are closed, and that, and if you think about it, it's really brilliant because if you've ever been constipated, so after I had my daughter, I was extremely constipated to the point where I was like crying, and it was so painful that after that, every time I say Asher Yatzar, I'm like, I feel that initial pain. So I remember it and I'm like, ugh. So that's why I put it everywhere.
How are you now?
Oh, I'm good. Oh, systems are a go. So Ashe came to me for the weekend, and Ashe was like, I've never seen a prayer for like using the bathroom. She's like, that's so my jam,
I love it. I love the intention of it all. Like everything that happens that I've seen in Judaism is so intentional. And like I've had to like claw my way through and like to learn intention just like from the ground. So to see people grow up with like these like prayers for literally everything, and like I just think it's sexy. I think it's great.
Yes.
Prayers for
are
everything.
sexy.
By the way, is there a prayer you say before
sex?
Yeah. I feel like there should
No, but
be.
afterwards, I think people say often they thank God. I think people
They
thank
say, oh God.
Yeah.
They say, oh God.
during after.
Oh, interesting.
There may be something.
There should be. Like, I feel like if you're having intentions about connection, that should be a thing, no?
I know that people do say prayers. I think this is when they want to have babies or something. Isn't there a prayer that people say during sex? I think there is something
I
that
don't
people
know.
can say, but I've never had sex with the intention of having a baby, so I don't know.
Leah?
There must be something.
Well, me neither.
There should be
I've
something.
never had sex with the intention of having a baby.
Should we create a prayer for this?
Wait, I want to give Sarah and Ashe a chance to introduce themselves and say hi. Just tell. Yeah.
Hi everyone, I'm Sarah and I'm Ashe.
Oh my gosh.
This is so funny. Okay, I'm going to do this.
Okay, you do.
I'm going to do this, yeah? Okay, so Sarah, yes.
Because I think they want to get off camera. So let's yeah. So let's give them a second, then let's let
Do you have
them.
a secret
They're
you
not
wanna
like
share?
us. Oh, that's a good question. What's your secret?
That's perfect.
Oh shoot. Do you have a secret? No. I can't.
An angel with no secret.
Well, okay, no, because the feeling of having a secret to me is so mortifying that I can't live with myself with secrets.
Well, maybe not a secret. Maybe reframing it as just something that you want to share that you don't often share.
I'm
can I
happy
say
to be
something?
here.
I'll
I'm
say,
happy to be
I'll
here.
say,
Happy to be
can
here.
I say Ashe is 75 days sober?
Oh,
Yes.
I mean, I don't actually know the exact number. I stopped counting at 60, but I am.
Yeah.
I'm
Yes.
sober.
And we've
That's
talked
amazing.
about being stoners, and so like to go that long without it, it's like
Oh, I was a stoner, certifiably stoned constantly. And I just decided that I wanted my brain back, and I have my brain back. Turns out brilliant.
Yes.
So
Yes.
it feels great.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
oh my goodness.
Sarah, what about you?
Honestly, I don't know. I don't really have any secrets. I'm quite shy. So this is like, I feel on the spot right now.
Well, then I give you extra credit for putting out those videos, because if
I
you're
know, your
shy
videos are
and you're still
incredible.
churning out those like self-help, self-growth things,
It's like different when I'm like in my own space and I can like be just like alone thinking about it. But yeah, like something people don't always realize is like I'm really quite shy. And sometimes it comes off as like standoffish, but it's just like it takes me like a long time to warm up. And even though obviously the people watching it aren't here in this room, I like feel the energy of like, there's just gonna be strangers looking at
Oh, okay. So we'll let them go. Give it up for Sarah and Ashe, our resident
And follow
gays.
them on Instagram if you want to hear more, because they share amazing things on Instagram.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And say your Instagrams.
this. I am Sarah Snow.
I have two, Ash.Walker and Marsupial Pudding.
I'll put them in the link in the
Yeah,
bio.
you're good. But thank you for the intro.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
How much did
We
you
have
hate
them
that?
to thank for the scissors. So thank you. Oh, and there are a couple people. Yeah.
You guys were great. Sorry to put you on the spot. I can always cut that if you don't like it. Yeah, okay. Okay, I'm going to finish my secret. See, that was just like
That was
This
very
I would
nice.
like you to
Re-say
circle
it
back
so
to
you
it.
could,
Yeah. So you dated a girl.
so
How did
dated
you
a
meet
girl
her?
from Stern. I met her in Israel when I was just there. Oh, Israel.
Oh my god.
the Holy Land.
No, I got so canceled for talking about Israel. You guys know that. We had that whole whatever.
What does it even mean to be canceled today, though?
Well,
what
oh,
happened?
People
like-
say, I don't like you, you're a bad person.
Yeah,
Boo.
and I won't go on your podcast, and I won't, and I'm gonna unfollow you, and I'm gonna shit talk you to other people.
I think
That feels
I think
like
if
bad.
people disagree with you and that's their methods, maybe those aren't the kind of people.
No, they're
that,
not. And they're 100%
in
not.
our
It's not a
lives.
good feeling. I did follow a lot of queer comedians that I was very friendly with, and I enjoyed their company, and I unfollowed them one by one.
Yeah.
I mean, I went online one day and I saw like something so bizarre, and I was like,
You know what's crazy as well? Your thing was so benign.
I know.
You were like, let's not look at it as like this very black and white thing.
Yeah.
Let's be non-binary about it. And
perfect.
non-binary
It
does
was
not
perfect.
just mean gender.
Right.
Binary is a system. It's like
I know.
systems. You're saying you're non-binary. It can apply to any kind of thing. All you said was, can you be non-binary with me? And I was like, that's so nice.
I know, and I got
And I
so
saw somebody
bullied.
else post something similar, and they did not get.
I know.
Did you grow up ever having somebody that was like, you were told that person was really bad because they challenged the system? Do you know, like when you were growing up, did you have bad, like people that had left? Or
Yeah,
people-
I mean, I think I was that person.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think there's a similar kind of hate. I think when somebody thinks outside of what they consider to be right now, they're like,
Yeah.
what you're allowed to say.
Yeah, and what you're
not
supposed
part
to
of the group
think.
think and what you're supposed to think. What you're not supposed to think, you become dangerous because it makes them have to question, and they don't want to. They don't want to think. So otherwise there was, but even if they disagree, there would be zero reason for them to be mean to you. Zero reason. You don't have to agree with somebody. None of you, you're not like,
No.
both of
I
you do
wanna
not
go
have
back to
power to
your
change
secret.
the actual systems in place.
so
Yeah.
badly
So-
because I was
We're-
like, I didn't want to go down this like.
Okay, we're not going down. yeah.
yeah.
We
But
we went there
the
for a
topic of being
second.
canceled actually is a really serious topic. Like, have you guys been following Matt Rife, this comedian?
Yes.
Haven't heard of Matt Rife.
About it on-
Not really.
Oh
no.
my gosh. Okay, so I actually like Matt Rife.
But
And I got-
special or post special?
Pre-special. And I went to watch him perform live.
Oh, how was
His
he?
crowd work is 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
For a comedian to be able to just pick on a crowd and just go with it is very hard.
So hard.
It's you get up there, you know what it's like.
so fucking
Everybody's
hard.
waiting for the next joke.
And they're
to
like,
be able to interact with the audience it takes effort.
No, he's really good at
So
it.
he's really good at it. And he made fun of someone. He made some comment, I don't remember what, and of course he got canceled.
No, he got canceled for his special.
Right.
For his opening joke about domestic violence.
Right.
And then when people got upset with him for the joke about domestic violence, then he posted a story saying, here's a link to my apology. And then the link went to the special needs helmet. Which honestly, it is funny, but it also deserves, like, it's so it's so chutzpahdik that, like, of course he's gonna get extra canceled.
I worry though. Why are we in a society that we all have to say things that everyone is comfortable with?
No, and
why is the world so selfish? We do not have.
We
to,
are
you
very
have to
selfish.
like something, don't watch it.
Yeah.
Or look at yourself.
And that's what he
like,
said.
Why do I have such a strong response to this?
And then he went on the Jordan
work.
Peterson podcast to talk
That's
about
what I saw.
That's so funny.
He's not really like, I don't have anything against him.
That's such a good way of putting it, where it's like, I don't need to say something that's just because you're uncomfortable. Like, you're allowed to be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And honestly, as queer people, we get that. People are uncomfortable with our queerness and
on orthodoxy.
Yeah.
You know?
People are
and
so
like,
uncomfortable.
Like I say, I'm Hasidic. I don't think people agree with me.
Same. I say I'm Chassidic.
That's
I agree
who
with
I
you.
am, and that's okay
Well,
if you
it's
don't
funny,
agree
when
with
my
me.
girlfriend wants to insult me, she says, "Oh, you're Chassidic." Like, that's her thing. And I'm like, thank you. It's never an insult to me. It's always a compliment. But she means it in the way that Chassidim, which is very unique about the cut of Chassidim, is they don't take no for an answer, and I don't mean this in a bad way. I mean it in the best way. If they come to a town and there's no mikvah and no kosher and no grocery and no
Get
shul,
shit done.
they make it happen. They're like, who's going to do it? You, me, together. Let's get a group that's done. So in that sense, I'm a chassid.
Yeah.
Because that's how I run my business. That's how I run my life. I'm like, no one's doing it. I'll do it. You know? So she gets into her moods where she's like,
You're doing it.
so Hasidic. I'm like, well, I'm not
And you're
sitting
like,
back.
I'm
waiting
just
for someone
on
to
top
do
of
it.
everything.
Yeah. What should I tell you? I'm amazing.
You're just
You are amazing.
okay, I think I want to do
Back to your girl.
we're going to do my secret, but we're going to do it on the Patreon episode.
Okay.
So go to patreon.com/Yenta and
Go to patreon.com/Yenta.
and we're going to do that version. We're going to go more deep into my
We're going
secret.
to talk about heimish sex.
Oh.
How does social media decide? Like, this is the craziest part. You could be having like a streak and doing really well, and then one day they're like, "Meh, we're done with you." It's like,
It's the
this is
bane
why I
of
want
my
to get off social
existence.
media. Like, I'm sick of it. I think I've hit that point where I'm like, I've always told myself I don't depend on other people for validation, and I mean it. I don't depend on them financially.
But it's also like your livelihood sometimes.
Right. So
I mean, if you want to do comedy as a career, that is your livelihood. Like, you need to
put
post
out content.
so people
And
buy
often-
tickets.
It's such a hard thing because I don't like posting on social media, and then I worry about it, like, because people do see.
You have to.
They do think that you, like, if I don't post, I'm living my life, but if I don't post, they don't know what it is, and a part of me is like, it's my life. I want to live my life.
Yeah.
I don't want you involved, but there is like a. You need to be. People have such short-term memories. You need to be on their, like, radar all the time.
Listen,
don't know how to keep up.
my thoughts on social media are you have to get on board. You have to get on board, because if you want to promote any kind of business today, social media is a big part of it. You know, not every
struggle with
business,
it a
but
lot.
mostly, you know. And if you want to be known, and if you want to build a following, and it's another stream of income, it's possible.
Yeah.
But
I
the
think
things that you have to do to get there,
I know.
and I'm not saying everyone can't. Maybe people have balance, and also if it's their career and whatever. For me, I've reached this point where I'm like, I'm so sick of it. I'm sick of opening up my Instagram and TikTok and seeing the same garbage there every day. So that's why I'm like, I'm not going away forever. But I told myself after this
just
next
taking a
gig,
break?
which I have to promote, I'm done. I had gig after gig now, so I was promoting for a while and putting out a lot of content. And I don't want to do it anymore. I need a break, man.
Do you
And
think we
that's
can
fair.
have it without social media? Do you think that that's a thing? Or do you think I really need to get on board?
You need to get on board. You know, and I even told this to Modi, okay? And he's like huge.
okay.
But when I met Modi,
Name
he
drop.
was-
Leah got Modi.
Okay, because
Leah invented
I
Modi.
definitely
Everybody
did not invent Modi, but here's what happened. When I met Modi, he was a successful comedian.
Right.
He was a
Like a
really
club
successful
comedian.
a really successful club comedian, and he was on some TV shows, but for the most part, he was great in clubs.
Yeah.
But that day has died. No comedian anymore can just be successful in a club.
Yeah. You have to post.
You know, unless you're Rodney Dangerfield and unless you're Sarah Silverman. But
Right.
if you're a regular schmo like me and you.
No, but even Sarah Silverman has a podcast and she posts content all the time.
True.
Yeah.
And I'm saying she came from somewhere.
Right.
But, you know, for regular people, You got to put out content and hope that somebody likes it. And that's how you're building your following.
I think there's a way to fall in love with creating content. You know, there's a way to like be nice about creating content and find a way to like not hate it. And just
I do think we need to invite Sarah for this conversation. I don't know if right now if Sarah wants to join, but you have all the answers. You want to go about if yes, let's have.
I have a question for you, Sarah. I have a question for you, Sarah. Okay, so I understand that the algorithm works in very specific ways and whatever. My thing is like this. Lately, I've been seeing a lot of this.
Yes.
Self-help and self-growth pages, which are very trendy right now. But when I click on their pages, every video looks the same, meaning even if they're natural and even if they're laying down, they all look produced. Do you know what I mean?
In what way?
Like production. It looks like it's been a production, even if they're just getting out of bed or they're slicing melons.
Yeah. Well, everything, it's all staged, right? Like they're trying to show a specific part of their life in a specific light so that people are attracted to it, because so much of what people will click on or watch is not just for the content but for the aesthetics. And so if you have that combination within that field, it works well. But in comedy, having things that are actually less produced tend to work a little bit better.
Yeah, especially with like sketches and people doing like they want it to feel like it's very authentic.
Exactly. Or like stand up, like I see what does very well is my live. If I'm performing live and I get a good 60-second clip, that gets tons of views.
Right, because that feels like an authentic moment that the viewer that's scrolling on Instagram feels like they were a part of.
Like, so they just peeked in.
Exactly.
It wasn't made for you. You just happened to get like a peek.
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
And like that, within the field of comedy, that works really well. But within the field of like self-help, you're trying to show like this is what your life could look like if you were just healed.
But you do get what I'm saying. So it's like I see these videos where it's like, and it's all quotes. So it's like the other day, and then you see her get out of bed and brush her hair. Like, I took a moment to appreciate my friends, and they're standing in a group, the 4 friends, and they're like,
I feel like that's
and
art.
I'm like, it isn't. To me, I look at it and I'm like, it's not real. I feel like I'm watching a little movie.
No, but that's art. Movies are fake, right?
But social media, I guess.
But you can have art. I don't know. I look at your videos and I see art.
Thank you.
And I want you to know that.
Yours, yes.
Thank you.
But also, I know you for a long time. I know your journey. I know what you've been through. So I know that it's authentic. What I'm saying is that now we have this brand. It's like a brand of its own.
Yeah.
It's these very highly produced, natural. You see a husband and a wife. Like, I look at Jay Shetty, right? Remember when Jay Shetty started? He was like, and now it's like you look at his videos and it's like, oh.
I think social media has always been a place where people showed a fake version of their life that isn't the real thing, that gets people to feel like they're living vicariously through that person. But if you meet almost every single one of these people, their life does not look like that. And I know that because I'm behind the scenes for a lot of these shoots, and it's all fake. It's all like, okay, let's get you at that angle, and every single person that you film hates how they look, so they ask you to put filters over it. So there's like a filter on a filter on a filter.
Oh my God.
And then people are watching it, and then they start feeling bad about themselves. So they just keep on scrolling, and it's just like a never-ending cycle.
That's depressing when you say it like that. And then, so Ray, the question is then, as somebody young in the business, like, what are you feeling? Like, are you constantly struggling?
I am constantly struggling. Yeah. Well, I think I'm trying to have the perspective that I'm putting out what I like and what makes me feel happy and fun. And if it doesn't do well, that's just like part of the process of learning. And like, you know, Seth Rogen could put out $100 million movie and it could not do well.
Yes, that's true.
And it's obviously, I'm not the same level, but it's like the same feeling of like, I could put my heart and soul into something and everybody could hate it. But that's just part of the artistic process. And
you know what's also interesting though about that is there are times that I've like done had people guests on a podcast that I was like, oh, this was so not interesting, and then I had people write to me about that particular podcast which I thought would not hit it. So maybe not everybody likes it, but it hit some people.
Yeah,
and that's something.
Well, I have a question for Sarah. So let me ask you
I
about.
wanted Sarah to first answer this question.
Sarah, how do you feel about
falling in love with creating? Is
oh
what you
yeah,
asked.
fall in love. How do you fall in love?
Do you think
Yeah.
that's possible?
I think if you're creating from an authentic place, like you said, like I will love this even if it flops, like even if I'm the only person that watches this and enjoys it, then of course it's a beautiful thing. But I think that if you get too caught up in the numbers and just like looking at the comments and the shares and like especially like feeling bad about yourself as a result of that, I think that that's a slippery slope. And I think that and I mean there's also other parts to social media that are really toxic that I think it's worth looking at and deciding whether or not you want to be a part of it at all. But I think, there's, of course you can fall in love with creating. Yeah. But I think you have to first like fall in love with your life. And
okay, snap.
No, because this is what I was thinking last week. I did a show last week. I woke up in the morning and I had a crazy panic for the show. And I'm like, what's wrong? Like I couldn't identify it. And I realized I was not okay. Like, I don't remember what had happened. They had released some of the hostages, and I think they said they're releasing more. And I was very invested, and they didn't. And I was like really sad. And I'm like, how am I going to get up in a room of people and make people laugh now? I'm like, I keep thinking of these babies, and I'm like, I can't. And I didn't. I was angry because I'm like, I'm gonna get up and I'm not gonna hit because I'm not there. I don't feel it. But then I walk into the room and I see like people who bought tickets and they want to escape for an hour and they just want to laugh. And I'm like, actually, I have a pretty cool job. I get to get up there and make them escape for an hour. And that's what I did. Yeah. And I walked out in a better mood by doing that. So I get it, like falling in love. And with each joke, I'm like, damn, I'm funny, And then I had a really bad experience last week where I thought it was funny as Ticho Tuesday. And I posted, people want to know who was my first kiss after New Year's. And I leaned over to the mezuzah and I said, I'm about to pucker up. And I thought it was really funny. But it didn't hit. Like, it just didn't have the usual views like it does. And I was like, all right. I don't care. I liked it.
But like, that's such for me, like a mental war. Like, it's a war every day. Like, if I post something that doesn't do well, am I going to feel shit about myself? Probably for a little. But I have to just like remind myself, okay, you're trying and that's all that matters and you liked what you did and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. Well, it also goes back to like the whole story that like I really advocate for, which is emotional dependency. Mm-hmm. Whenever you're relying on external validation for internal security, you're going to feel really shitty. And I think it's like getting to that place where you can really let go of that is also where you're going to create your best art. Yeah. But also where even if the art doesn't perform well, you're like, well, I created something that I love. Yeah. And then it, and it's still allowed to hurt. You can also like hold space for the fact that you're like, man, I wish other people love this as much as I do. And like, I get that too.
And it could be both at the same time. Yeah. Oh, like for sure. You can feel bad about it, but also not let your self-worth be down.
Okay, but like Melissa, you're an actress, right? I'm like, if people show up and you're just not getting positive feedback, what do you feel like?
Yeah, that's really, really hard. I had, they have certain audiences that are not, there are certain audiences.
Do we want Sarah to stay?
Sarah's so cute. We want Sarah to stay. No, that was like.
Oh, that was
on the same page.
Okay.
Honestly,
we can let Sarah go.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you, Sarah.
I know. Woo!
And hit up Sarah Snow for any of your social media needs.
Yes. Honestly, like I think about it, makeup artists, right? Like they have a job of making people look pretty, but it's also a very vain job. They're dealing with people the whole day.
They make people feel good.
Who want to look pretty. Yeah. But they're like, it feels so good. I'm bringing out cool things in people.
And people feel better about themselves. I think with acting, I've had times you have audiences that are not so into it, or audiences are at least they're quiet, they're not giving you something, and it feels like shit sometimes. Yeah. And in this show, for the first time, I felt very lonely after performances. I told you.
Tell me more.
Because it was the first time that I didn't have like a serious partner with me, supporting me, bringing me flowers that I can then dissect it. My best friend, like my really, really close friend, just had a baby. She couldn't come to see the show. I didn't have somebody that I trusted fully.
She just had a baby?
Yeah, Jenny just had a baby.
Oh, mazel tov, Jenny. That's huge. Yeah. Last time I saw her, she was.
I know.
Yeah, that's great.
She has,
good.
Dimitri. Good.
I meant to do that.
You meant to have. So I usually have her, and like there was certain, like you want to dissect it with somebody, I felt lonely. And I think I was talking to a friend and I was just like, I just don't want this external validation to like affect me. And my friend was also like making space, like what Sarah was saying, like it's okay to have those feelings. Yeah. And I was walking on the street and walking home, and instead of like reaching out more, I was like, it feels like shit, and I'm okay that I feel like shit. And also, I'm enjoying the process, and I know the reasons I did it for myself. And, you know, I also know that whoever it was, that there are people that liked it. I liked it. My experience was, you know, there's been so many reasons that it's good, but I also had to sit with the shit feeling.
So
and
shit.
It's such a shitty feeling. And the other day I had like this audience that was just not... What I love about theater is they feed you.
Yeah.
You feed off of that energy. It's really like...
I mean, it's the same in stand-up.
Yes.
It's even better, honestly, because you have like
Every
a laugh.
laugh,
Can't even
every
imagine
laugh
stand-up.
gives you like another thumbs up. Like keep going. They're
What
liking
happens
this.
when I don't get like a response and mine, you know, I'm not a comedian. I can't even imagine like having to come up with my own jokes. Although when I wrote the Flirting was on and you have people laugh at the things you've written and you're just like, oh, this feels so amazing.
It's the best.
But being one-on-one and it's so vulnerable. And I'm like there, you know, acting, like being present. And the audience is giving me like, you know, eating a banana as I'm, and you're just like,
Well, you have that in stand-up too. Don't worry.
and like I'm
You
here
ha-
and I need
yeah.
you to like help me. Like
Yeah.
it's I think the audience is part of the experience
Totally.
when you go to like theater or stand-up comedy, and it's really hard.
So
I've seen
really
comedians
hard.
do really funny things when they don't get a laugh.
What do
Like
they
I've
do?
seen some go to the side and like they say a joke and it's not funny and then they'll whisper to themselves like, "It's okay. Your mother loved you, even if it's not funny. Like don't worry. People still think you're valuable."
Right.
Yeah.
And then they go back to the audience. So the audience
That's
is
actually
watching
really
that
funny.
exchange.
Cute. I love
so I've
that.
seen
I've
people do
go
that.
like, "You're so stupid. You're just
Yeah.
an idiot. Why are you?" Yeah.
Or
Like
like
that's it.
even after the joke, like I knew it wasn't going to be a funny joke,
Right.
and I
That
tried it
I've seen.
anyway. Like you know,
Yeah.
That I've seen.
So
It's
yeah.
a really hard thing, but it is
I
something
laugh at
think-
myself, so that always helps.
Yeah.
I will literally make a joke and then I'll laugh at my brilliance, and then so if people aren't laughing at the joke, they're laughing at me, laughing at myself.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I opened for Ariel Elias this weekend.
Yes, same more.
Well, on New Year's Eve, and she headlines all over the country. She's been on Kimmel. She's big. So they were all there for her. This is my first time like opening for her. And I did like 15 minutes at a Jewish community center basically, but it was like 200 people and I didn't crush. Like I did okay, let's say. Like in the top I was strong, at the end I was strong, in the middle I was definitely like and that was such a good, and she after was like to me like that's just part of comedy. Like that's just part of it. Like you're not always going to do well, and that's just like we were saying, failure is part of just like being in the process.
Yeah. I do think that that's
but
helpful.
we'll see if she takes me out again to
Did
open for
that
her.
feel good to hear though?
Yeah. Also, she's just so great.
Well, I learned
She's so-
two things. Again, I'm bringing up Modi because we got cut off before. But what I was saying was that he was a good comedian in person.
Right.
And when I explained to him that, like, you know, social media is the next big thing, I'm like, you have to start putting your clips up. You have to start developing like an online personality. He's like, why? Who cares? I'm like, because it can't be like it was in 1999 when somebody posted a poster
Right.
and people showed up. It doesn't work anymore. But one of the tips that he gave me was whatever jokes you think you have, slice it in half. Meaning like over prepare material, and then when you get up there, rather drag out. Take more time with the jokes.
Oh.
Because I would get up there with like 10 good jokes and I'm like, I want to say all of them, but I said them all so fast. They're like some went over people's head. So I've learned I have 3 good ones and I play.
Slow it down.
I play.
I've heard that actually too from other comedians that have like done it like seriously. I have to figure out how to do that. I think we should transition
Okay.
to secrets. How do we feel about that?
Well, I sort of shared mine already.
No.
Sort of.
Audience secrets.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Enough about us. Other people, bring it on. Let's go.
Let's
No? I'm like, let's talk about other people.
Yeah. No, way better. Okay. These are your secrets that you guys submitted on
Love these guys.
on my Instagram. Let's see. I'll have you guys read one. Okay, and then we can create.
I love that because I didn't
We can
see
create.
We can react.
We can react.
I laugh with Melissa because, you know, we come from a Hasidic background. So,
She makes fun of how I speak.
well, no, I mean, just some of our English words. English wasn't my first language, by the way. So she says, like, she said, I would love to get together and I want to create.
Yep.
And it's really funny because create, it's like Hasidic way of saying it. It's create, I think, but it's like
Okay.
Hasidic people do that. They break the syllable. Me first. Me and my high school bestie started dating in our Beis Yaakov. LOL. Her mom walked in on us once and we quickly separated. To this day, her mom tells her she thinks I'm a bad influence and that I'm gay. Just a hunch. She's right. Ha ha ha. It's so funny that you always get these on your...
so many of them. It's basically Melissa's story.
I think
that's
it's
what
everybody's
happens.
Story.
Everyone, it is every
story.
Yeah, and I think we all pretend that it's secret, but it's we all have that.
It just really. What do I go to the next one?
Honestly, I told you I never like had any sexual or whatever. But there was this girl in camp, and we sat on a bus together, and she had a silk slip on underneath her biz skirt. And when her skirt went up a little, like I touched the silk. I still remember the tingles I got till this very day.
I remember when I was.
You're gonna hate this one. Read it out loud. Read it out loud. No, read it out loud.
I'm trying to find my words. Okay. Breathe. Okay.
Are you gonna use that word? You're gonna say that?
Let me. Gosh, see,
this is good practice for you.
Oh my gosh, there's certain lines I had to say in the script that I was just like, I can't say it. It took me time. Okay. I used to stand at the back of the women's davening section to watch their asses rock back and forth. I'd imagine that I was the one they were air dry humping as they davened.
You know, I never thought of that, but if you think about it, so here's a girl and she's praying and she's like this, but really some dude or girl's behind her and she's like,
she's twerking.
Oh my God. And daddy behind her.
Yeah.
This is an incredible.
And that's you.
That would be me.
That would be you'd be daddy.
Yeah.
Oh wait, that's a perfect transition because we're gonna cut. We're gonna go to Leah's bottoming secret on the Patreon. Now go to patreon.com/Yenta and we're gonna go there. Do you have anything to say to the regular viewers before
get Patreon?
Go to Patreon.
Yeah.
It's about to get kinky.